So next weekend, and it can't come soon enough, will be the pre-order for the first wave of Soulblight Gravelords stuff. So it's not all going to be up for pre-order next weekend, but it is going to start. Now, there are a few other things coming up next weekend, which we'll get onto after Soulblight Gravelords. And if you don't want to stick around for them, they are basically an Adeptus Titanicus release and 2 Soulblight Gravelord Black Library releases, which addresses a little bit of balances for me, because in Warhammer Fest last week, they had an individual show that was all about Black Library, but I was really disappointed because it only showed 40k content. So only 40k content that was to do with Black Library was announced on that day, which I was pretty disappointed with, and the stuff this week looked pretty cool. And sorry, just before we get onto the Soulblight stuff, the announcement that the synthetic brush range will be going up for pre-order next Saturday as well. So I know there aren't a huge amount of fans for Citadel brushes. I don't know what these are going to be like. It'll be interesting to see the reviews. Depending on what the prices are, and I'll do a video for all of next weekend's prices tomorrow lunchtime. Depending on what the prices are, I may pick up a few of them and drop a little review. Now, my early thoughts are that they probably aren't going to be great. That might not be fair. I've got nothing to base that on other than the current brushes that they use. But we'll see. Hopefully I'll be proven wrong, and hopefully these will be great brushes at decent prices. Okay. So it's probably worth mentioning that if you have just watched the YouTube video that Warhammer Community bring out every week saying what next week's pre-orders are going to be, you actually might miss a product in there. So they didn't actually mention everything in that video, but I'll go through what was on the article here, just give my thoughts on it. So first things first, we have got their brand new Battle Tome coming out. Now, obviously, what we don't know is if it's going to be compatible with the 3rd edition of Age of Sigmar, which got announced just yesterday. So that is announced. I think the 3rd edition is coming out just towards the end of summer, something like that. I'm very much hoping that anything that are released between now and then are going to be fully compatible, and I assume this is going to be. I've got no reason to think not. My only worry is that the Lumineth book that came out not all that long ago got replaced about 2 or 3 weeks back. So hopefully we're going to get this and it's going to do us for a little while. And then as usual, we obviously get the dice set. I think these look really cool with the dragon symbol on there. I think they're really cool. We also get, as usual, the War Scroll cards, which has also got the tokens inside it as well. Minis wise, the first thing we've got here is the Deathrattle skeletons. I think they look really, really cool. Toot toot and all that sort of stuff, but they look very cool. Interestingly, in a box of 20, so not the 10s that sometimes we get with other stuff, but then generally with skeletons, you know, they tend to be fairly low level stuff. But yeah, boxes of 20s for these. They do look very cool. I'm a big fan. Now, I've obviously got Cursed City already as well, so some of this stuff looks fairly familiar, although it's not exactly the same, but all within a similar vein. So yeah, these are cool. Next up, we have the Deadwalker Zombies. Now, I am a fan of a lot of these. I do like the roots and that kind of thing that go through their bodies. To be fair, I'm not a big fan of the ones that have got the gravestones on their backs, which was disappointing for me for Cursed City because they've all got them. But yep, I do like these models. They are cool, and obviously these are also in a box of 20. Next up, we've got the pretty menacing looking Felbats. I think they look all right. I can't remember from the last article they had. I don't know how big those bases are, so I can't exactly remember how big these bats actually are. But yeah, I think they look pretty good. I'm a little bit of a fan of these. Next up, we have our first Vampire Lord that we've got announced today. Now, this is the one that got leaked. If anyone remembers, there was a leaked image of the packaging, which was came out a couple of months back. In fact, that was the first ever kind of view of any Soulblight stuff we had then. It even got leaked before Cursed City was announced. I do like this model. I'm not a fan of the hair. I know it's meant to look good, that it's all glistening in the wind, but for me it just looks like those bats are trying to steal the hair. So it is a cool model. I might chop a few of those bats and some of that hair back, but yeah, mostly I like it. So next up, I was never truly sold on the Soulblight Gravelords until I saw these models. So these are the Blood Knight Cavalry. I think they are so excellent. I am so much looking forward to them. They look really, really great. But yeah, these also up for pre-order next Saturday. I'll also drop in a quick reminder for my subscribers that for those of you that do use my affiliate link for Element Games, I pass on my eternal gratefulness. I really, really appreciate it. And for any of those you don't, if you want to support my channel in this way, you can find the link down in the description, which will show you how to spend no extra money, but support me and even get a little bit of extra element crystals if you use Element Games. And a reminder, of course, that I'll have the pricing video for all of this content, which will go live around about lunchtime UK time tomorrow. Now, I mentioned a minute ago that there is some other Vampire Lords up for pre-order this weekend, so here they are. So these are both the same kit, but one of them we have Luca Vi, she is the Mother of Nightmares, and the other one is just a Vampire Lord. Now, these are vampires of the Avangori dynasty. Luca Vi's backstory is that she had a run-in with Tzeentch, which turned her into a bit of a monstrosity, hence the look now. Obviously, totally vampiric. In terms of the other Vampire Lord, there's no backstory for him. It just is what it is. Now, I have problems with this sculptor. I want to love it so much, but I do have problems. But what I really hope is that I will obviously pick it up for my army, but I hope there's enough bits in the alternate torso that I can just create another brand new Vampire Lord out of it, just using legs of something else. But yeah, I know that this has really divided people's opinion. I'm not fully sold on it. I think the pose, I can't imagine it in flight or even walking across the floor or anything like that, but it is what it is, and it is out for pre-order next weekend. Now for Adeptus Titanicus, the Bellicosa Volcano Cannon is now available for the Warbringer Nemesis Titan. Now there's a whole load of words that I didn't want to be saying together in one go, but yeah, so for those of you that are fans of this game, and as if you haven't paid enough money in already, you've now got weapon options for that Titan. Gotrek Gunnarsson is back in Git Slayer, this time up against the Greenskins once again. So this is available obviously in book form as well as digital and an audiobook. The next two Black Library releases I'm going to talk about, the ones that I'm really looking forward to. So first of all, we've got Undeath Ascendants. So this is a trio of novels in one book. The reason I'm really looking forward to is one of them was written by C.L. Werner, who I thought did a fantastic job on the Cursed City novel. I really, really enjoyed that. And in fact, if anyone's up for it and anyone wants it, I was going to do a book review on that. It's been out for about a month now, so I don't know if too much time has passed, but if any of you do want to hear a book review on that, let me know. And if the idea of that gets much traction, then I'll certainly follow up with a video for it. But yeah, Undeath Ascendant, so a trio of novels, all from Black Library regulars. So that is the first of the Soulblight Gravelord Black Library books coming out. And then the next one is a Dynasty of Monsters. So again, this one looks at Luca Vi, the Mother of Nightmares. And it will help us to learn a little bit more about how she came to be in such a monstrous form. That one's written by David Annandale. I really liked his work in Call of Archaon. He wrote one of the stories in that anthology book. But yeah, so I'm also looking forward to this one. So that's it. That's how we're kicking off with the Soulblight Gravelords. I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on the Battle Tome, because that will tell us if there's more things to be announced that are going to be on their way. I do hope there's a bit more. I know that the Lumineth, when they came, there was obviously a lot of stuff, and I know a lot of people were a little bit annoyed at the Codex situation with that, or sorry, the Battle Tome situation with that in terms of an upgraded version coming up very soon. But I do hope that this is well supported and it does continue to grow as a faction. I'm already sold on it. I'll be very interested to see how much of it makes its way into Warcry as well. I know that almost everything we've got here, with the exception of probably that big monstrosity Luca Vi or the other Vampire Lord that's made out of that kit, will be unlikely to make it. But I'm sure that almost all of the rest of it will make it in there. You know, when we look at the books that came out for Warcry towards the end of last year, there was quite a lot of things that were previously omitted, such as a lot of the cavalry stuff and that kind of thing, is now in there. So I'm sure that the cavalry from this lot will make it in there at some point as well. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So tell me down in the comments, are you looking forward to this? Have you received everything that you want to get so far, or is there anything else that you're looking forward to coming up for the Soulblight? As much as I'm interested in all this stuff, I'm not a big fan of all the paint schemes we've seen so far, so it'd be quite interesting to see where it goes with the artist side of things, such as that Vampire Lord that's got all the bats in his hair. I'd like to see that hair as some sort of electric blue or something like that as well. You know, the really cool, interesting times coming up ahead. Now, I'll be back tomorrow, obviously, with that pricing video. I'll also be back very soon with another video talking about the 3rd edition of Age of Sigmar, what I'm looking forward to, and what I thought of those reveals for the new Stormcast models that were announced yesterday. I think they all look good, but I've got quite a few opinions on it, so I'll save that for another video. But thanks very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing. I do a similar video every Sunday mostly, with a follow-up video on the Monday giving all the pricing when that is released. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll catch you all later. See ya.